All right, so I told you guys that Nate wasn't gonna be wrong. So the Switch 2 was teased, revealed yesterday, and I did a whole live stream kind of talking about it with some of the audience. Thank you guys for the ones that joined in, and thank you to the one super chat I got during the live stream. I did talk about some other nonsensical stuff that has nothing to do with the Switch 2 at the end of the stream. But I'm gonna link the stream in the description and in a pinned comment below so you can check everything out just in case I miss any topics I discussed on that stream. But for the most part, I remember what I talked about because I just did it like not even 8 hours ago. So it's pretty much all still up here. And you guys will be seeing the trailer play in the background as I'm talking because I'm going to loop the trailer. So that being said, let's get into this and talk about my thoughts and my speculations on the Nintendo Switch 2 and what I feel it's going to end up being like. And one of the things that kind of concerns me with it, or a couple things. So sit back, relax as we talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. So the first thing I want to discuss and mention is the Joy-Con 2s or Joy the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. I don't know what they're gonna call them. They're gonna probably still be called Joy-Cons. But the one thing that concerns me with them is, did they learn from the drift issues? Did Nintendo fix that major problem with the Joy-Cons? They do look more beefy, bigger, like they fit nicer in a larger person's hand. Like, I have fairly large hands. So the fact that it looks more comfortable to me in the Joy-Con grip thing that they show at the end of the trailer seems to be more in line with not worrying about upgrading like to a Pro 2 controller or whatever the next Pro controller is going to be. So that does look nice, and I hope they learned from their mistakes with Joy-Con drift because that was a big issue. Hell, there was a lawsuit about it, and I think that's what forced Nintendo into doing the replacement program with Joy-Cons. I think that's why they started doing it to kind of mitigate having to pay out like whatever the whatever it was, because that lawsuit was like years ago, but it was still a thing. So hopefully Nintendo learned from that. I'm not saying they're gonna put like Hall effect joysticks or anything like that in there, but hopefully they figured out something to kind of mitigate that issue. I'm not saying it's gonna completely go away because even PS5 and Xbox controllers suffer from drift issues. They just called it Joy-Con drift because it was more prominent with the Joy-Cons because they use cheaper analog sticks. So that's my one concern with the Joy-Cons. Now, a couple of things moving on with the Joy-Cons, still a positive weird note. The part of the trailer where they show it scooting across the surface that the Switch 2 is sitting on, how you see it scoot across like in a mouse function, like it's like this, turn on its side, and it's like going this way towards like on a surface. So which means there's probably some kind of sensor like on a mouse to for like pointer controls, I guess. And someone in my chat brought up that maybe they're gonna do some point and click adventure games and use like a point and click kind of mouse pointer thing. That would be kind of cool if they did that with certain things because I know point and click games are kind of fun for some people, so that would be kind of cool. Like if they did some games that utilize that, or had some kind of games that have parts of that in the game or something like that, where you have to turn the Joy-Con that way and use like a pointer or something to like look. And maybe I have seen and heard people mention that there might be some kind of internet browser with the Switch 2, which I don't see why they would incorporate that. Like, who needs an internet browser on their console at this point? I don't even think there's one on the PS5 like conventionally. I think there might be on the Xbox, but I'm not sure since I don't own one. But the whole mouse pointer thing, possibly being a thing, is kind of interesting. So the Joy-Cons look a little bit better and more upgraded. My other concern with it is the cost of the Joy-Cons. Because we know they're going to be included with the system. But how much is it going to be to purchase more Joy-Cons? It's not going to be $80 like it was. It's probably going to be like 100, maybe 110 at the most, but I'm thinking 100. The cost is going to be very important with the Joy-Cons separately and the system itself. I'll get to the system cost in a little bit, but basically the Joy-Cons look nicer, and I'm not as concerned as I was when I first saw them, because they made a point in the trailer to zoom in on the analog sticks. So I think they made a point to say, like, hey, we know we kind of screwed these up, and we want to make them better. So I think they learned from their mistakes, and we'll see from that. The other biggest thing they really showed was the kickstand. It's more of a, like, it's kind of like the OLED kickstand, but it's slimmer and it allows the Switch 2 to be more at an angle. It looks like a way nicer kickstand. So that is nice that it's more of a premium feeling thing, it looks like. And the screen size and the console itself, the tablet part, looks nicer as well. And they kind of showed, I don't want to say footage of like the screen, but they did. But you know they simulate that stuff, so that's not really indicative of what the screen's going to be. But I have heard the screen is going to be like an 8-inch high quality like LCD, like a TFT. I think I think that's the type of the LCD it's going to be. I've heard it's going to be basically a high quality LCD screen. I have heard they're not going to include an OLED screen in the launch model of the Switch 2. I say that because I have a feeling 6 months to a year after the Switch 2 launches, they're probably going to launch like an OLED model for the Switch 2 at like a $100 price point above whatever it retails for, basically. Which I'll get to my speculation on that. So that does bode well for the Switch 2, just in general, just overall aesthetically. It looks sleeker. It looks nice. As far as games being shown in the teaser, you do see a teaser or a first very, very early look at what I believe is supposedly or supposed to be Mario Kart 9 or the sequel to Mario Kart 8. No one knows for sure if it's Mario Kart 9, but I would assume it is. And it looks pretty much like Mario Kart 8. Like, that's the one problem, is that they really didn't show much in the way of like gameplay or performance or even talk about anything about performance or like resolution or anything like that. But the one silver lining with this entire trailer was they did reveal that on April 2nd of 2025, they didn't really reveal like a time or anything like that, but there will be a Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. So that's when we're going to get like pricing and other bigger details. There's going to be small little nuggets here and there when, like after yesterday, there's going to be more stuff that comes out about it, but not from Nintendo themselves. Probably like third-party developers confirming certain games for the console or something like that. Now that it's been officially teased, because there were like I said in the previous video I did, there were leaks everywhere. So like this wasn't a big surprise that when this was revealed that it looked like what it looked like. The renders looked fairly close to what it looked like and all that stuff. So it wasn't a big surprise. Now, as far as pricing goes, my speculation on pricing would be $400. I think that's a good retail price for it. I don't think it's going to be 300 or 350 or 360, whatever the OLED model was when it first came out. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be $400 because it's going to offer more features, more things that the Switch One can't do. And they did kind of show the dock, but they didn't show like the back of it, or like they only showed the front of it. It pretty much looks like the OLED dock. If my OLED dock wasn't buried over here, I'd show it to you guys, but it pretty much looks the same as the OLED dock, like the same design and stuff. So it's very similar in the way it's dockable and things like that. As far as the Joy-Cons attaching to the system, it's no longer based on a rail system. It is like magnetically, like snapped on or something. That's the way they should. They just showed it kind of being like slapped on like a. It almost made me think of like a slap bracelet or something. But I'm sure you don't just like smack them on there. But it's definitely a magnetic railing system. So it's you don't have to like line the rail up and just lock them in. They'll just auto lock in. My only concern with that is how like good is the magnetic part of that going to be? Will it eventually degrade over time? Who knows? I don't think so. I think they'll quality test that and make sure there's nothing like that that'll happen. But there's always that slim chance. If you're not careful with it, something could break or something. So just don't be rough with it. And if you buy it for a kid that doesn't like take care of their stuff, like no, you know your children. If you're buying this for a kid and they don't take care of their current Switch and they've broken Joy-Cons and rails and stuff before, just be wary of this because I see this being a nightmare for parents. I'm just pointing it out. But the biggest asterisk to this whole thing was at the very end of the trailer, where it says it's basically backwards compatible, but it's not 100% compatible with all games, with Nintendo Switch games. It doesn't say what that means. It says at a later date they'll reveal what games will be incompatible. I'm assuming. It's at a later date, more details. So I'm assuming they're going to have a list of games that won't work. Now, don't be like naysaying the backwards compatibility, being like, oh, well, they said it was going to be 100% compatible. They never said that. They just said it was going to be backwards compatible. What I'm thinking, and what I told my wife is, because she asked me what that meant, because I showed her the trailer, and she was like, what do you think that means? And I told her, I was like, it probably means games like Ring Fit Adventure or any kind of game that relies strictly on Joy-Con only use, like 1-2 Switch, everybody 1-2 Switch. ARMS, I believe, was strictly Joy-Con. I don't think you could play that with a Pro Controller. I never played it, so I don't know. Anything that strictly uses the standard Joy-Cons on the Switch 1, I don't think will be compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. And that includes like any kind of Labo or anything like that. Now, could they push out updates for games like that may work with Switch 2 Joy-Cons? I don't know. In the case of like Ring Fit Adventure, that wouldn't be possible because of that, the lag strap thing, the little wheel thing that you have to like squeeze and do whatever else with. I've just seen people play it. I don't know how the Ring Fit thing works, but I know that you have to have a Joy-Con inside it, and it has to be a Switch 1 Joy-Con, not a Switch. It won't work with Switch 2. So that's probably one major game that won't work. Anything else, I really have no idea why there'd be compatibility issues. But that's the biggest thing that I see people like being concerned with is backwards compatibility being an issue. And I really don't see that being an issue besides those few games I mentioned. Other than that, if there's more games I'm not thinking of, You guys can let me know in the comments below what you think what games you think could be incompatible. If there's more Joy-Con only controlled games that I'm not thinking of, let me know in the comments below, because I'd be interested if we can like make a list of games that might not be compatible with the Switch 2. But that being said, that's not a huge deal. My hope with the backwards compatibility aspect of it is that some games will benefit from the backwards compatibility from like enhancements. Like I said in the past video, Breath of the Wild 4K or remaster was supposed to be shown at some event at some point, like a couple years back. Who knows if that was his main, but that's something I hope, is that stuff that gets switched to remasters, like Breath of the Wild or something like that, you can pay like an upgrade fee, or it might be free, but knowing Nintendo, it won't be free. It'll be like $10. Because even Sony does that with some of their remastered like upgrade packs. You have to pay like $5 or $10 or whatever it is. But either way, I think that's the biggest thing, and that's what I really think they should do with the backwards compatibility, is offer some kind of upscaling or better performance with certain games like Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, even Tears of the Kingdom. There's a myriad of games I could list. We would be here for 40 minutes if I did that, though, so I'm not going to do that. But I think having a robust list of games that could utilize the extra horsepower underneath the hood with the Switch 2 would be nice. Am I saying that's going to happen? No. Would I be surprised if it doesn't happen? No. Would I be happy if it does happen? Yes, because, like I said, a lot of games could benefit from it. And that brings me to one thing I mentioned towards the end of the stream, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm pretty sure that's what the game's called. It's something like that. Metroid Prime 4, basically, whatever. If I got the subtitle wrong, I apologize. But Metroid Prime 4, that comes out this year. And the Switch 2 is most likely going to come out summer or maybe early fall of this year as well. It's not going to be a holiday release. I can almost guarantee you that with a surety. That being said, will Metroid Prime 4 benefit from the Switch 2? Or are they just going to focus on making it work on last gen hardware? I hope they release some kind of like Switch 2 version or Switch 2 patch for those people that buy the Switch 2 and play it on their Switch 2. Because honestly, like I told my wife, once we learn more info about the Switch 2 and what it can do and stuff, I'm probably going to sell my OLED Switch. There's no point to have my OLED Switch unless there's like one or two games that I really play that are only compatible with the standard Switch. That's probably not going to happen, to be honest. So I see myself selling my Switch probably before it comes out. Because honestly, when I finish Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, I'm probably not going to touch my Switch unless I just want to get platinum coins once a week. So that's pretty much all I do my Switch for right now anyway. Because there's not really any games I'm playing besides, like I said, besides Donkey Kong right now. Like, that's it. Once I play Donkey Kong and beat it all the way, I really haven't been touching my Switch 1. So, like, the sooner I sell it, the better. And I'm probably going to wait till, like I said, after the Direct to see when it comes out, the price point, and all that good stuff. Because then it would make more sense. And maybe they'll announce, like, retailers will announce doing, like, an upgrade path or something. If you trade your old Switch in, you get, like, $100 off or something. Which I don't think will be worth it if you already bought an OLED. You're better off just selling it for, like, probably $250, maybe $200. And using that money to go put money down on the Switch 2. And yeah, that's my plan. Now, in the case of the console itself, like, will you be able to find it on release day? If what Nintendo said can be believed, I do believe it'll be fairly easy to find it, because they did say they were gonna try to mitigate scalping and stock shortages. That being said, with how many views this trailer has gotten and how hyped people are for this thing, it might be kind of difficult to get it, because it was pretty difficult to get the Switch when it first came out. But after a while, it kind of died down. So you might have to wait like a couple months, but it shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. So people shouldn't be concerned about that, because somebody did bring it up in my chat as well, that they were worried that they wouldn't be able to get release day or launch day, which I'm going to try to get one on launch day. And they are doing a lot, like an event right after the direct. That's probably when they're going to announce like the. See, it's weird how they're doing. They're doing like a ticket system. Like you sign up, and if you get chosen, I guess they give you a ticket to go out there or something. I don't know how it works. It was very vague. I'll have to read the fact or the web page on it. I'll leave a link below with that too if you guys want to sign up for it. But I'm going to try to get in there for the New York event, and hopefully I get in there, because if I do, uh, maybe I'll be able to record some footage. If I can't record footage, I'll at least do a video talking about it. If I get in, I probably won't, to be honest with you guys, because I never get that lucky with stuff like that. But you never know. If I do, just keep an eye out on my channel, and I'll let you guys know if I do or not. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my thoughts on the Switch 2 so far. Like, I'm hoping for enhancements for Switch 1 games. Overall, the look of the system looks pretty cool. I think that the overall price point is going to be fairly affordable. $400 isn't bad. I don't, like I said, that's not confirmed. That's just my speculation. Overall, I'm pretty pumped about the system, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about it as well. Um, I know I should have done a video on it like the day of the teaser trailer, but I felt like a live stream would be better to bounce my ideas off of some audience. So I'm glad I did that, so I had more of an idea of what I wanted to discuss. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned everything when it came to like my thoughts, my speculations, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll probably be doing more videos if there's more stuff I think about when it comes to Switch 2, because people are going to be going crazy for like any morsel of Switch 2 stuff. If I hear anything of substantial like news, I will cover it no matter what it is, even if it's a leak, because I'm not going to just sit idly by anymore and just let stuff go without me covering it. So stay tuned to my channel, and make sure you click the notification bell for all notifications so you get notified when I upload videos. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Switch 2. Are you excited for it? Are you kind of reserved? Who knows? Who knows what this is going to be? We'll find out in April. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. This has been RollingWithKevin, and I am rolling out. Peace. Man, I'm pumped for this thing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell button so you get notified when I upload videos, go live, or post on my community page. Shout out to go to my Patreon supporters: Sunny Silva, Catfish Cat, Lady Fernay, Team Dale, Elliot Scott, Preliab, Harry Fernandez, William Swift, AJ Gottawa, Oliver Friedrich, Len Ernhorn, Marcus Mahaley, Brianna, and the Pay Now Please, Nuclear Reactive Man, Rebecca H., Just Good Enough, Gorgon Kaluskovic, Justin M. Daggins, Daniel Childs, Patrick Oliver, and Harold Huckabee. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. If you want to support my channel, it's only $1 a month. That's all I ask. It really does help with the channel a lot. Thank you guys so much for supporting and watching. If you did enjoy this video, I'll see you guys in the next video.